I sent all the Stinkies a message to meet us for a family meeting in the forest. Starring Logie as the magpie, a cheeky little magpie who loves shiny treasures, big giggles, and getting into tiny bits of trouble. Starring Teagues as the butterfly, a fluttery butterfly who dances on the breeze and loves making new flower friends. Starring Dill as the pickle, a silly, bouncy pickle who always pops up with a crunchy joke and a big smile. Starring G as the gorilla, a gentle gorilla with a big heart who loves hugs, drum beats, and helping friends. Huh? Starring Mikey as the polar bear, a cozy polar bear who waddles through snowy days, sharing warm smiles and cool adventures. Starring Snoofy as the songbird, a cheerful songbird who sings happy tunes to wake up the whole world. Starring Jess as the border collie and, for some reason, sometimes a fox. A clever border collie who loves learning new tricks and keeping everyone together. And special guest, Smitty as himself. Thanks for coming to our meeting. Well, this isn't very good news, and it actually stinks, but Papa Bear and I were talking about writing a story with all the fun things we love to do with you Stinkies. What? But we ran out of time. We were so excited to show you the story. But I'll tell you about it. It would have been something like this. I asked Papa Bear what his favorite memories were, and he said, well, it all starts with the original Stinky, Snoofy. Papa said, I could talk about the many miles we walked together.
Time to get going.
Our early morning fishing trips.
Let's go fishing.
Adventures in the snow.
Woo! Let's do it again.
Watching her dance and sing. Practicing good toes, bad toes. But the story I love the most was when she was learning how to drive. I loved those late night loops around Sprout River. She was getting older, so it was getting harder to find Daddy Bear Brookie time. I just loved being in the car with her, loop after loop, just me and her. When she thought I'd had enough, she'd pull back in our driveway and turn to me and see how she'd done. Papa Bear would say,
One more time with tunes on.
Yo, see what I want, go Billy Billy want. Don't tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Then I asked Papa Bear about his memories with Mikey. He said, well, all the hockey games and team trips would be too easy. Or the times playing mini-stick, and the time he broke the garage window. They even left food out in the forest for creatures. They had exciting Sam Squanch adventures. Caught so many fish. But the story I like the best is from one night when Circus McGurkus was really sick.
My teacher said it that if you make a toilet paper ghost and throw it up in the air, bats will try and grab it. Is that true?
Then Papa said,
There is only one way to find out. Let's make some ghost.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you some breaking news.
Breaking the law.
Then Papa Bear said, and then along came G. We loved our adventures. We even caught a shark.
Got a big one!
G would swim for days. But the story I love best is when we were fishing at Loon Lake. But fishing was slow, so G was farting around and getting closer to the water. We were on some slippery rocks, and I said, "Hey G, be careful. It's icy. You'll slip in the water. Get soaked and get cold and cry." Sure enough, G fell in, and Papa said, "I told you you'd slip in the water, get soaked, get cold, and cry." G looked at me and said, "I didn't cry." We had a laugh, and then he asked if he could go play by the trees. I said, "Sure, but I have to be able to hear or see you." G ran off, and I continued fishing. G yelled, "Papa, I'm up here."
Oh no!
And then Papa Bear said,
Gee, you are way too high. Your mom is gonna kill me. But this is great. Let's get a photo first before you fall.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you some breaking news.
Then I asked Papa about his brother's brother, Dill. Well, that's another story. Most of our adventures are too nutty to tell. But we did watch him eat poo. Catch a sea monster.
Whoa.
We rocked out to some Pink Floyd. And we fished for days. But the story I'm going to go with was when he was wearing just a diaper. And it goes like this.
Oops.
Ew.
Sometimes I stare at the moon and poo in my diaper.
Then, in a typical Papa way, Papa Bear said,
Why are you telling me? Go tell Grandmama.
Well, that's not my very favorite memory, but it had a good punchline. What I really enjoy is when we just shoot pucks together.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you some breaking news.
I asked Papa about his favorite memory with Teagues. Papa said, we loved our hikes with Ozzy. Putting on a show for the family. Papa still thinks he stole the show. Not. Cheering as Teagues made big saves. Playing Ring Around the Rosie in the pool.
You did not.
And listening to her play beautiful music. But the story he loves to tell is their bear hunting adventures. Papa Bear's face lights up and he says, we couldn't sleep the night before because we were too excited. Teagues packed us the best snacks. We spent hours looking for clues. We would imagine our adventures would look something like this.
Did you see that? I think we scared them away.
I'm scared.
Take your shoes off, Teeks. You'll run faster.
Papa, give him the butterfly.
Why, I gotta give up.
Get him, Papa.
Wait.
Then the mean bear knows he couldn't win, and he gives up. Then Papa Bear stops celebrating and gets an idea, an awfully juicy idea. And Papa Bear says,
Okay, Takes. Now it's your turn.
Christmas worm!
and last but definitely not least, what about Logie? We love stacking blocks in the toy room and snuggling watching a movie. We love story time in the bath. Watching Grandma Squirrel and Logie jump and play. And watching Logie and Teagues dance the day away. And playing horsey until Papa Bear can't walk. But my favorite story is when Logie helped me go to work. Our job was to clean Auntie's patio. We only had one rule: no spraying Papa. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe not. The harder they worked, the wetter Papa got. Finally, Papa was cleaner than the patio, and that's when Papa Bear said,
Alrighty then! Logie, why I ought to?
"We love that you're learning to play piano, and we can't wait to dance to your music."
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you some breaking news. Warning.
No, Jess, we haven't forgotten about you, but there may be mantis disclosed and an unauthorized report of an attempted rodenticide. Here's Jess. We've always appreciated your caring for Earth's creatures. We always loved our peaceful tube rides. I always admired your pool skimmer skills. But the story we loved the most was the sleepover the night before Disney. 'Twas the night before Disney, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Except Papa in the kitchen, tiptoeing just right, drinking milk from the carton in the middle of the night. Then click went the switch, and a bright light did gleam. Jess flicked on the kitchen light, and both let out a scream. Their yelps and their giggles woke everyone quick. And before we knew it, oh my goodness, what a trick. A mighty Disney dance party burst out with delight, spinning and laughing and dancing all night. And yes, if you're wondering, it's totally true. There was a dancing moose, too. But that's another story for you.
What a beautiful morning. Let's get this party started.
Then Papa Bear says,
Oh, dear God,
We're going to
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Woo, Disney!
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you some breaking news.
Phew! You can see why we just had so many memories. It was hard to make a story. You can see how we ran out of time. But don't worry, we want to leave you with this beautiful slideshow of memories to enjoy. Do you think they're still watching?
No, I think it's safe to give me a good old smoochy smooch.
And Papa Bear says, Papa Bear, you have the hottest buns. Like, literally everyone, including Screech, says so.
Ooh.